5 tips to help you never lose your bolts again, and stick around because tip number 1, it's a little unusual. Number 5, taking pictures. Now I know it's not revolutionary, but stick with me. This is a key part of doing any job, especially if you haven't done this job before. I can't tell you how many jobs I have done where I come back after a long delay and I have no idea how to put it back together. And if it wasn't for taking those photos, I would be screwed. Number 4, when you take a component out of the car like we did with this trim while doing the EXR tank, put the hardware back in. This works great. You don't have to remember anything. It's especially useful if the bolt lengths are different. If you got a little extra room, organize these parts in an arrangement where you can tell in what order they go back together, and it's gonna make assembly super easy. Number 3, raid the kitchen and grab a box of Ziplocs. These little beauties are perfect storage devices for most all hardware. And because they seal, you can spray a little WD-40 in there, and then right before you close them, push all the air out. That way you don't have to worry about corrosion. The other really cool part is with a permanent marker, you can write exactly what is on the outside of these things so you don't have to remember. Because they're super tiny, they store really tight, so stick them in a box or Tupperware and keep them somewhere you will not forget. That way when you go back for assembly, it's super easy. Number 2, if you need a little more structure or you're just feeling fancy, upgrade to Tupperware. These guys are super cheap, get them anywhere online. They are stackable, they seal, you can see the hardware inside, and you can write on them. And it's really, really important to be detailed because although you remember now what you put in, if the project sits for a while and you come back, you're gonna want that detail because you won't remember in the future. Tip number 1, cardboard. This unassuming wonder is like a 2-for-1 special. You get a place to put your hardware in the orientation that it took it out. That way if you got different bolt lengths, you can not only mark this with the bolts themselves, but you can write on this bad boy. You can tell yourself which direction things go, little notes, and then you store that on a shelf. Now, if you got a little Timmy at home like I do, you're probably gonna wanna add this little extra bit, which is a piece of tape. You run that over the bolts that are in the cardboard, tape that down, and now no matter what happens, or who wants to turn this into a paper airplane, none of your hardware is coming out, you are welcome. And that was 5 tips to help you not lose your hardware and remember where it goes. I hope these help you out on your next repair.